Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving into a story that's as relatable as it is infuriating. A tale of a concerned parent, a terrifying teacher, and a touch of sweet, sweet revenge. So, let's set the stage. It was the beginning of last year, and for the first time ever, we missed the Meet the Teacher event at my son's elementary school. Honestly, I didn't think much of it at the time. This school had a stellar reputation, and I figured all would be well. But boy, was I wrong. Just a few days into the school year, my son came home absolutely hysterical. I mean, I've seen kids cry, but this was different. He was shaking, he was pale, and when I asked him what was wrong, he could barely get the words out. Mom, my teacher, she screams at us. She embarrasses us on purpose. My heart sank. I thought, how could this be happening? I reached out to a friend whose child was in the class next door, and she told me that they could hear this woman yelling through the walls. Can you imagine? A classroom filled with young, impressionable kids, and they're subjected to this kind of terror? Now let me tell you a little about my son. He's a shy kid, never been in trouble, always the one to follow the rules. But this teacher, she was breaking him. He was begging me not to send him to school, and it got so bad that he even threw up in the car line one morning. Can you picture that? After just 3 days in her class, I made the decision to move him to another teacher, one who was kind and patient, someone who understood how to nurture a child, not scare them into submission. But the damage was done. My sweet boy had been traumatized. I started volunteering at the school, hoping to make a difference somehow and to keep an eye on the situation. But every time I saw that teacher, my son would point her out and whisper, "There she is, Mom." It broke my heart. I mean, how could one person wield so much power to instill fear in a child? And that's when it hit me. I had to do something about it. Now, I'm not one to resort to violence. I mean, I definitely didn't want to end up in an orange jumpsuit for shoving her down the stairs. But I knew I had the perfect opportunity for some good old-fashioned petty revenge. Here's the plan. Whenever I volunteered, I made sure that anything this teacher needed never got done when I was around. You know how it goes. There's always a list of tasks for parents to tackle, and every time I would put her at the very bottom. "Oh, you need this done? Sorry, I just don't have time." And let me tell you, it felt glorious. Her requests, ignored. Her needs, pushed aside. I would watch her struggle to get the help she needed, and it was honestly a bit satisfying. She could ask for something, but I'd be busy with other tasks, making sure that she had to scramble for help after school or during lunch. I mean, if she was so tough on the kids, she could figure it out herself, right? 3 years of this went by, and I couldn't help but think about all the kids she had traumatized. I couldn't wait for the day when my son would be old enough to understand the little battles I fought for him. Don't mess with my kid, Karen, I thought. You'll never see me coming. Now, don't get me wrong. I did address my concerns with the school, but they brushed it off, claiming her teaching style worked for the more difficult students. I guess they didn't realize that kids as young as mine could be affected by such harshness. But I knew better. I could only hope that karma would come around and get her in the end. And while I'm not advocating for revenge, I will say that sometimes we have to find our own ways to stand up for our kids. Whether it's through volunteering, speaking up, or just being a thorn in the side of those who bring fear into our children's lives, we have to do what we can. So what do you think? Have you ever stood up for your child in a similar way? Or maybe you've had your own run-in with a teacher that crossed the line. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments.